What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Thomas Gallery. And today's a bit bittersweet. It's bitter because, well, the NBA Finals are over. They ended yesterday, last night. And the Golden State Warriors are now the NBA champions. First of all, congratulations to them. Great team, great season. And it's bitter not because the Cavaliers lost, because I have no invested interest in either team. So whoever wins or loses doesn't bother me. But it's over now. There's no more NBA. So no more NBA. But it's sweet because Kevin Durant won his first championship and his first Finals MVP, and also because, he is a fellow DC native. Many of you know I was born and raised in DC, and so was Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's from DC, so it's good to see DC, on the map, doing something spectacular. He's actually from the same neighborhood as one of my other relatives, one of my cousins, well, one of my many cousins. He's from that neighborhood, so it's good to see DC. Good to see DC, champions. DC hasn't had a champion since since the Redskins, and that was a long time ago. So, yeah, but the NBA season is over. I was hoping it would win 7 games just so I could see more basketball. That's actually why. I mean, I really didn't care. I really didn't care who won or lost. But I just wanted to see more basketball because it was getting pretty good. The first 2 games was a wash. It was looking like Cavaliers wasn't having a snowball's chance in hell of winning anything in any kind of way. Game 3 was a bit close, but Cavaliers still lost. Then they went back to Cleveland, and the Cavaliers pulled off a historical win. And everybody was thinking, including myself, that this may turn into a real Game 7 series. Like this can get real. But things happen, and last night, the game was looking pretty close. It was looking like we could have a Game 6. But then we finally got a chance to see Kevin Durant really break out and do his thing. He was playing like no matter what, he was going to win. Like, he was playing like he wanted to win. Now, I know many people are going to say, well, you know what, Kevin Durant really didn't earn that because he went to a team that beat him. And I agree. I mean, in terms of business, I ain't mad at Kevin Durant's move. In terms of business and what he wanted to do for his career, I ain't mad at him for that. He thought he couldn't win in Oklahoma City, and he couldn't win in Oklahoma City because he didn't win. So he saw an opportunity to move to a location where he had the chance to really flourish and be with a team that was a potential champion anyway. I mean, they were champions before he got there. So he said to himself, you know what? I'm going to take my talents, as LeBron said, take my talents to Golden State, to San Francisco, to the Bay Area. And I'm going to get me a ring. Now, the problem everybody else has with, and I mean, I don't blame everybody for having this problem. I have a slight problem too, but you went to the team that beat you. And everybody says, well, LeBron went to a super team too. Well, here's the thing. People keep on debating this, and it's really no debate in my opinion. That's not the same as what LeBron did. Now, when LeBron went to Miami didn't knock them out of the Eastern Conference Finals to get to the NBA Finals. Miami Heat didn't do that. That was Boston and Detroit and Orlando when Dwight Howard beat them. That's who knocked them out of Eastern Conference Finals. Now, the same thing would be if LeBron James played Orlando Magic, right, where Dwight Howard was playing, and they lost. Well, when they lost, because they did lose, when they lost that, and let's just say if LeBron had went to Orlando the next year, that would be the same thing as what Kevin Durant did. Kevin Durant had a chance to actually beat the Golden State Warriors, a really good chance, and he lost to them in the Western Conference Finals. And the next year, he went to that same team. Now, if LeBron had did something like that, then yeah, that'd be the same thing. But they didn't do the same thing. It's not the same thing. So this whole thing about LeBron went here, it's not the same thing. And if I'm going to be honest, I watched the finals. I watched was it Game 5 yesterday? I watched it, and was it me, or did anybody else get the sense that something was off at the end of the finals? Did anybody get the sense that something was a bit off? I mean, they were in Golden State. They were at home when they won. But did anybody other than myself get the feeling that it was like an odd feeling in the air, like people, like the celebration was forced? Like, did anybody get that, or was it just me that felt that? It felt like even though they won, it felt kind of cheap. I don't know if I'm using the right word, but it's just something about it. It felt cheap. It felt like it wasn't it wasn't legit. Maybe because of the whole controversy thing with Kevin Durant, it just felt like the celebration that I thought I would see from Kevin Durant and the Golden State Warriors, I didn't see. You know what it felt like? It felt like the Golden State Warriors had won on the road and they didn't want to celebrate all the way. That's what it felt like to me. Because, I mean, Golden State got their player, Kevin Durant, and they won the championship. But it felt like, for some reason, that it was forced. Like the celebration was forced. Maybe just me. Maybe just overreacting. But from what I saw, it just felt like something is off. That the celebration wasn't authentic. I mean, you know, Kevin Durant's mother was happy. She was happy. And I mean, I do believe they were genuinely happy. But for some reason, it felt like the celebration wasn't as hyped as I would expect it to be, or expected to see, since how they won at home. They won on their home court, so they won at home, but I get the feeling like they won on the road. That's what it felt like. It felt like they won on the road. Like it wasn't a home victory, it was a road victory. I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but let me know what y'all think. If y'all felt the same way, let me know. Did it feel forced to you, even though they were at home? Did it feel forced? Because the celebration to me felt a bit forced, even though they were on their home court. But I mean, it was a good game. I mean, I believe that somebody gonna get traded from Cleveland. That's what I feel, because at the end of that game, the only people I saw well, consistently through that game. The only people I saw really doing a thing for the entire game was LeBron James, of course, and J.R. Smith. Now, in my opinion, a couple things are going to happen from based off of what I saw from that finals. Excuse me. LeBron may leave. He may leave, but I don't think it's a great. I don't think it's a big chance that he will. I think. I think it's more likely he'll stay than leave. Or a lot of those core players are going to get traded because I saw too many instances of mental lapses and just no effort. I saw moments in the game where Darren Williams trying to pass the ball to J.R. Smith and he spaced out, not knowing where he supposed to be. I saw instances where Kevin Love was nowhere to be found. Like, he was nowhere to be found. Darren Williams, he tried to do a little something, but apparently he wasn't enough to get them where they needed to be, so ain't no telling how long he gonna be there. I mean, you got some older players. You know, you need to. I mean, LeBron James he's still the best player in the NBA, but he's not young anymore. So eventually, you know, that his body's gonna his age is gonna his years are gonna catch up with him, I should say. It's just too many things going on with that organization where it just something gotta give. If you want to, I mean, they'll get to the finals again. I mean, I don't believe that there's anybody in the NBA, or especially on the Eastern Conference, that can stop the Cleveland Cavaliers from getting to the finals again. So there's a very good chance we will see part 4 of the NBA of Golden State versus Cavaliers. There's a very good chance. I'm almost certain it'll be a part 4 of this, to be honest with you. And LeBron James will be going to his eighth consecutive, 9th overall NBA Finals, and they'll meet the Golden State Warriors again. But I will say this: if the Cleveland Cavaliers don't get rid of some pieces and add some pieces, the results will be the same, if not worse. Because now, since Kevin Durant has tasted the championship, he's not going to want to let it go. He's not going to want to let that feeling go. So, you know, it's going to be tricky these next couple of months during the off season. Because, like I said, you know, no matter how good you are, you still it's a team sport. So no matter how good you are, you still need players that can really do the job. And last night, I seen too many instances of mental lapses, of people missing their assignments, of people just giving up. I seen too much of it. Too much of it. Too much of it. Too much of it to just pretend like it ain't happened. So, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. But if they want any chance at getting back, well, let me rephrase that. They're gonna get back if they want any chance of winning again. If the Cleveland Cavaliers want any chance of winning, they're gonna have to get rid of some folks, and they're gonna add some big pieces. I mean, I've heard the talks of Paul George being a name that could possibly go to Cleveland. In my honest opinion, I'm not sold on it. Well, I'm not sold on Paul George because he he's used to being the man on his team, and I saw how he played against LeBron in these playoffs, and he talking about how, I need the ball when the last second, when the clock is winding down, and this and that, and the game is on the line. I need the ball, and he's calling out teammates. I play this. If he goes to Cleveland, he's not going to call out LeBron James. Paul George doesn't have the right to call out LeBron James. If that happens, he don't have the right to call out LeBron James. LeBron James has been housing him since they got in the NBA. So if Paul George go to the Cleveland Cavaliers with LeBron James and Kyrie Irving, they're going to have to get rid of Kevin Love. That's just going to have to happen. They got to get rid of Kevin Love. They got to get rid of probably J.R. Smith, Shumpert. They got to get rid of a lot of core people. To get rid of some bench players or something like that. They might have to do kind of a clean house thing. They may have to clean house with that. But if Paul George goes to Cleveland, he's going to be the third wheel. And I think that would be best for him, because he has the mentality of someone who's a number one option, but the way he plays, he ain't no number one option. Paul George is good, but Paul George ain't getting you to the finals. Paul George don't have that. Paul George, he can be that guy, but from what I saw these past playoffs against Cavaliers this season, he's better off just being a number 3, a number 2 or number 3 player. That's who Paul George is. He's a number 2 at best, number 3 player who has the mentality of a number 1 player, but he ain't got that. He ain't got that DNA for it. That's just how I feel. I mean, and maybe, putting him under LeBron James, because LeBron James knows how to bring the best out of any player. He's done it. He's proven that you play with LeBron James, the best version of you is coming out. And 9 times out of 10, you are going to win with LeBron James. You are not going to win with Paul George. It ain't been shown that you can. But it has been shown that you can win with LeBron James consistently. So, all that good stuff remains to be seen. But yeah, like I said, it's bittersweet because I wanted to see more basketball, but it's all good things must come to an end. And it would have been cool to see LeBron James win, because I wanted to see what else was going to be said about LeBron's legacy. I mean, like I said before, when I did the LeBron James video, I never considered Jordan or LeBron the best player of all times, the GOAT. In my opinion, I consider Kareem Abdul-Jabbar the GOAT. That's just my opinion. His numbers rival and surpass Jordan. His numbers rival and surpass Jordan. There are some numbers where they rival, and there are other numbers where they surpass. He's equal in championships. That part is true. He surpassed him in MVPs. He surpassed him in points. He surpassed him in rebounds, blocks, steals. Jordan may have that. I'm not sure. I think Jordan has him on steals. But there's a lot of categories where Kareem has actually surpassed Jordan by leaps and bounds. So if I'm going to consider somebody the best, I would honestly consider Kareem Abdul-Jabbar the GOAT. Now, if you say the greatest winner, yes, Bill Russell is the greatest winner. But I don't think that Bill Russell is better than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. If Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played against Bill Russell, I believe that he can handle Bill Russell too. I know people probably like, what? Man, I don't know who on the Celtics was going to stop the skyhook. Who on the Celtics was going to stop the skyhook? I don't know who doing that. Who doing that? You know somebody? Cause I don't know nobody. Right, winding down, but this NBA season, the regular season, a lot of questions were brought up about what is to consider the MVP. And I think that we need to reevaluate what is considered an MVP, most valuable player. Because the difference between most valuable player and best season. Because value, I don't know. I just think that this season really needed to be defined as what is considered value. I think we just need to agree on a single definition. Because most valuable player is a bit subjective, and we just need to go like just have a clear cut definition of the word and let that be the deciding factor. Because too much, clamoring on about who's valuable. Is it Kawhi? Is it LeBron? Is it Westbrook? Is it Harden? And LeBron not even being in the final 3 for most valuable player. It's just what is value? The word value has an actual definition that for some reason we don't use. We don't use that definition of what we consider something valuable. What is value? And we have just applied that clear-cut definition as to what is valuable. Then we say what is the most, or who is the most valuable player. But with that being said, all that hoopla, I am done. And this is the 6/13/2017. And from one DC native to another, I'd like to say to Kevin Durant, congratulations on your first championship. And congratulations to the Golden State Warriors on becoming the 2017 NBA champion. And good job to the Cleveland Cavaliers on your great record, on your great season. Next year we'll see what's happening. So thank you all for watching. Leave a comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. I will catch you all later. Peace.